I called on the Lord. I said, Father, this is real. And you watch over it. Well, I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you call for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on.
Getting love from the brothers and sisters out here.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my actions. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me, and let the whole world see.
Hey, shalom Israel, shalom Baltimore, Maryland, and abroad. Y'all penny north, understand? Feeding the Lord's chosen people. This all you see right here. This is under commanding Johnny YAHANNA. Commanding Johnny YAHANNA feed.
Serious, and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do His will. I'm that nigga.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General YAHANNA, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General YAHANNA is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders can't get between us.
Israel, the Israelite School.
All right, y'all. Shalom. Y'all about Shimei al-Shabbat Thug. Y'all Shemar al-Thum about Shimei al-Shah. This priest and officer of Thumb Yard at I.S.U.P.K. Start out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969. And one of the things that we teach is that the real Israelites of the Bible is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians of today. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into a couple things today. Today's topic, this is the history class, you know what I'm saying? And I'm about to get into a few things. So I got this book. got this book. It's called, you know what I mean? The Image in the White Mind. The Debate on Afro-American Character and Destiny. And the study took place, you know what I mean, from 1817 to 1914, you understand? I mean, and so we're gonna get into this book now. The whole thing about this book is like, you know what I mean, the whole thing about this book is it's a debate between a debate between the abolitionists and the colonialists about what to do with the Negroes here in America. You know what I mean? And you see the dates, the time period, the years that this study took place in, you know what I mean? And when this study was actively happening from 1814 to like 1817 to 1914. This is like almost a century long debate about you know what I mean, what to do with the Negro in America. You understand? So you know what I mean, we're gonna get into it. And it's written by George M. Frederickson. Frederickson. Slacker. Okay, so read a couple things out here. There's a lot of good things in here. Before I was wanting to bring it out tonight, I was reading through it, and it's many heavy things to bring out about this book. But one thing I want to read, and this kind of, I mean, piggybacks off of last Thursday's class. You understand? It's kind of big piggybacks off of that, of what we was talking about last Thursday. But we're gonna get into it right now. All right. So I'm gonna read from page 60 out of this book. All right. And it reads this. Now again, this book is about, you know what I mean, what are they going to do with the Negro here in America? You know what I mean? And they're having a debate about it. You know what I'm saying? About, you know what I mean? Well, maybe the Negro shouldn't be put out, you know what I mean, should stay in slavery, or he should be, you know what I mean, we should treat him nicely. You know what I mean? How would he be if we give him some sort of freedom here in America? How would he be? Would he be to, you know what I mean? Would he, I mean, can he handle being free? Can he, you know what I mean? What is it? You know what I'm saying? They having a debate on what to do with the Negro here in America. This is what this book is basically about, you know what I mean? In its entirety. All right, now I'm going to read from page 60, right? And it says, the Negro was so radically inferior to the Caucasian that his destiny in America was either brute servitude or extermination. Now, what does that sound like? What does that sound like? You know, what does that remind you of? You know what I'm saying? You know what this remind me of? This remind me of when we was in ancient Egypt. It was in ancient Egypt, and you know what I mean, they put the harsh work on us, you know what I mean, as Israelites. You know what I mean? They put the harsh, rigorous work on the Israelites, you know what I mean, for them. And this sounds just like that. You know what I mean? They wanted to exterminate us back then. They wanted us in extreme servitude back then. Hard labor. Right. You know what I mean? Let's get it. In fact, you can start at Exodus chapter 1, verse 10. Verse 10. That'll be too hard.
Chapter 1, verse 10. Come on, let us deal with them.
So I can read it again. Try it again. Make sure it's the King. Make sure it's the King James. Oh man. Yeah, if it's too much, I can read it. Try it again. Exodus 1 and 10. Go ahead and read. stuck. Ain't no soda. I'll read. Exodus chapter 1, verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out the land. Now, this is what they said, you know what I mean? All right, no sweat. This is what, you know what I mean? And this is exactly what, I mean, our oppressors in America says today. You know what I mean? They look at us and feel the same exact way. You know what I mean? Let's deal wisely with these, you know what I mean, Black and Hispanics here in America, man. Deal wisely with them before they could come and overpower us, and you know what I mean. They could just, you know what I mean. They're a big threat. They look at us as a big threat. Don't think, you know what I mean. You look at us in the streets, and you know what I mean, homeless, strung out on drugs, hungry. You understand? And don't think that, you know what I mean, our oppressors don't look at us as an enemy. I mean, as a severe threat. They definitely look at us as a big threat. That's what they're not stupid. They know that, you know what I mean, who we descend from. That's why they try their hardest to make sure that we are, like, you know, we're brainwashed and, you know what I mean, into all vanity. You know what I'm saying? That's why he tries his best to make sure that we don't have any understanding of nothing, and we just want to worry about all the things that are vain to the actual world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? So you go ahead, you can take verse 11.
Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters.
They set over them taskmasters, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? People that's over them to make sure that they working. You understand? Go ahead.
To afflict them with their burdens.
Right.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure city.
And they built treasure cities. We built the Egyptians treasure cities in the past, man. That's what we did for them Egyptians. Them stinking Egyptians. Go ahead, read.
Pithom and Ramses.
Pithom and Ramses. You know what I mean? 2 store cities that we built for the Egyptians. You understand? Pithom is like, that's a city in Egypt. That's like you know what I mean, in the valley near the Nile River and the lake, in the lake. Forget the name of it. But yeah, around there, and Ramses, you know what I'm saying? Two store cities that we made for them, and what we did in them cities, you know what I mean? We produced grain for the military power of the Egyptians in that area back then. Is what we did against our will too. You know what I mean? That's part of the rigorous work that they made us do. Built them cities up. Go ahead, read.
Verse 13. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Y'all hear that? But the more they afflicted us, the more we multiplied and grew. We grew because of that right there. Let me put this on the chart slot. He dies quick. So yeah. So yeah. Read that part again. Because yeah. Exodus chapter 1, verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. You know what I'm saying? The more they afflicted us back then, the more that we grew. You understand? And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Go ahead, you can take verse 13.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
With rigor. Read.
Verse 14. they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage. Hard bondage. And go ahead. I'm gonna connect this.
In mortar and in bricks.
In mortar and in brick.
And all manners of service in the field.
Read that part again and speak up a little bit.
And in all manners of service in the field.
Right.
All their service within, they made them serve with rigor.
Right. You know what I mean? Well, all, you know what I mean, all manner of you know what I mean, the servitude that we did, they made us serve in rigor, with hard rigor, you understand? And that means hard work. Hard work. You understand? Hard labor. And you can even hear, and you can even read down more in the chapter where Pharaoh, he, you know what I mean, he sought to have our babies aborted, our babies unalive. You understand? This is not a new concept of, you know what I mean, today, where America has all the abortion clinics in our neighborhoods.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what Egypt did in the past. It's not a new concept. They've been doing this, but this is what they sought to do. Sought to make our lives difficult, man. Sought to make our lives hard. You know what I mean? In servitude, and in other cases, try to exterminate us, like it said in this book. You know what I mean? From the Black Image and the White Mind. You know what I mean? It said that. I'm gonna read that part again in here. The Negro was so radically inferior to the Caucasian that his destiny in America was either brute servitude or extermination. Now, we just made the connection from back in ancient Egypt on how they made us serve hard, rigorous labor,
right,
and sought to exterminate us as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like how they do in America today.
Right.
I'm going to share a picture on the screen with y'all real fast because we got all night to go on this topic. You know what I'm saying? Share this. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they, you know what I mean, did. You know what I mean? Exactly what they did right here. You know what I mean? This is America's slavery right here. It's a image of it right here. You know what I mean? They made us serve hard. Read that part again. Where's that at? Verse 14? Verse 14. Read that part again. And this is Exodus chapter 1, verse 14. Go ahead. Nice and loud.
And they made their life bitter and hard bondage.
And they made their life bitter with what?
Hard bondage.
With hard bondage. You know what I mean? Read on.
In mortar and in bricks.
And in brick. Read.
And all manners of service in the field.
Read.
All their service were where they made them serve was with hard rigor.
Serve what?
Was with hard rigor.
Right. You know what I mean? All the work that we did was with hard rigor. And this is in the Bible. And we also see it in this book, in the Black Image and the White, Black Image and the White Mind. You know what I'm saying? On how they sought to, you know what I mean, have us serve out harsh slavery and sought to exterminate us. And it's the same here in Exodus, the first chapter. And you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's all in there. All in the first chapter. All right. And I'm going to read on. And let me get y'all, I'm going to get more images of, you know what I mean, what they did. So, you know, that was America, the slavery here in America. Put the next one up. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the image of, you know what I mean, of the slavery in ancient Egypt. I put a better one up. And that's why Commander General YAHANNA, you know what I mean, the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, we have a sign where, you know what I mean, we compare the two, slavery in Egypt and slavery in America, because they're identical. They're the same thing.
Right.
They're the same entity, the same, you know what I mean, evil force. You know what I'm saying? This is it. It's the same exact thing. You know what I mean? This is the picture of the Hebrews, the Jews, the Israelites in Egypt serving that slavery. This is it right here. Now I'm gonna read on in the black image and black image and the white mind. I'm gonna read on, and it says the biblical curse of Ham could serve almost as well, and in the hands of writers like Matthew Estes and Josiah Priest, it became a judgment of God which placed the black man virtually beyond the pale of humanity. Now, the reason why they're saying this is why. Why are they saying this? They think they thought at a certain period of time, like a lot of people today, that we are Africans. They thought we are them Africans. That's who they thought we were. You know what I'm saying? And to really understand this book, like I said in the beginning, this is the, you know what I mean, the debate, the great debate on what to do with the Negro in America. You understand? This is what this whole book is about. He went around getting, you know what I mean, research from different oppressors all over the country. You understand? So I'm gonna read on. No, so right here, let me explain this. So when they thought that we were Ham, just like everybody today,
Right.
thinking we descend from the Africans. We're not African. Like I said in the last Thursday's class, we're not African. We don't descend from them. We have nothing to do with them Africans. You understand? We always been at war with the Africans. You understand? We are not the Africans. They know that we are not the same. They know that we're not the same. Hence them, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, showing their disdain for us, their disdain for us all the time. You know what I mean, they have different names that they call us, a kata and all this garbage, you understand? And they know that we're not the same. They separate themselves from us for a reason. They know this. They know these things, man. So that's what they get taught. You know what I mean? When they have children here in America and then they send them over to Africa to get educated and then they come back, what you think they learning over there? What you think they learning? They learning we ain't the same.
Right.
That's what they learning, man. They learning that, you know what I mean, their history in the past between us and them. Oh, man, this is what it is. So they thought, so I'll read that little part again. I ain't going to read the whole part. The biblical curse of Ham could serve almost as well. They thinking that we're Hamites, that we're African, when that is so not the case.
Right.
I mean, I already went into it last week. I could pull the same things out this class. You understand? We're not Hamitic. We're not none of that. So, and guess what? People that research these things, people that study, you know what I mean? This is a devil. This is a devil that did research on these things, man. This is a whole devil right here. He went and did research on the whole matter. You know what I'm saying? He did research and found out something that's very interesting, very you know what I mean, important for Black people, Hispanics to know today. Right? So I'm reading on the next page over, page 61. All right. But we're gonna get to that part. William L. Yancey, before a Northern audience in 1860, says this. This is what it reads. All right. Your fathers and my fathers built this government on two ideas. He's talking to other oppressors. All right. On a different region of America, but he's talking to them. You understand? This is what he said. Your fathers and my fathers built this government on two ideas. The first is that the white race is the citizen, meaning they're the citizen, they're the man, they're the human here in America.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna read some more. And the master race. You know what I mean? So they're the citizens and the master race. They're the master race and the citizen. This is what oppressors is talking to other oppressors about in the year of 1840 something, around this time, right? If I'm not mistaken. So he's talking to them. Oh no, 1860. All right. He's saying, yeah, man, our fathers, man, we built this, they built this country on two ideas. The first idea is that, you know what I mean, that every oppressor, it said every let me see. The first is that the white race is the citizen and the master race. And the white man is the equal of every other white man. That's what it says. You know what I mean? And this is basically the Constitution, how it backs up slavery being legal in America. You know what I mean? This backs it up. This makes it all the way right and legal for these oppressors here in America to do back then. You understand? So if I read more, this is what it says. The second idea, now this is a second idea, is that the Negro is the inferior race. That we will be the inferior. Do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? This is like, you know what I mean? The oppressor saying that this is that we are the inferior race to these, to the master race that they call the master race in the oppressors that run the country, that rule the country. So this is what it says, man. Now, this is oppressors talking. The Constitution backs slavery. It, you know what I mean, makes slavery totally okay and legal according to these oppressors. They all know this. You know what I mean? They call us the inferior race. Don't that ring a bell? Like, you know what I mean? We were 2/3 of a man. You know what I mean? We didn't count for 2/5 of a man. You know what I mean? We weren't actual men at that time. They weren't considering us to be a whole man. You know what I mean? We weren't men to them. Now, this is how they look at us, you know what I mean? How, you know what I mean? Their brothers, their oppressor brothers and all that stuff, they're equal to each other. No matter if you're in the South or, you know what I mean, you're in the South and not well educated like the oppressors in the North, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? All men are created equal. All men are created equal. And it was talking about them oppressors. Meaning, like, you know what I mean? If you're an oppressor down south, he can own slaves. It doesn't matter if he's, you know what I mean, not as, doesn't matter if he's illiterate compared to the oppressors in the North. He could own slaves just like the oppressors in the North own slaves. You understand? This is what this means. This little part right here means, right? So about them, they thinking that we're ham. So they think that we're ham, and that obviously makes them think like, oh, wait a minute. They're supposed to be slaves. They're supposed to be in servitude. They're supposed to serve us. They're meant to be servants. You know what I mean? Because the Most High wants them to be servants. The Most High wants them to be slaves. That's what they think in their head, and it's a reason why they think that. And they get it from the Bible. Everybody thinking this is a fairy tale book. People that study all these things, they reference the Bible in many things, man. Because, you know what I mean, this is the history of the Israelites and how we had conflict with every single nation on the earth, how they did us wrong and how we got out of that situation by the grace and mercy of the Most High. You understand? This is the whole Bible and how we came on top and how we prophesied to be on top in the future. That's the whole Bible. And these researchers know these things, man. They know these things. They reference the Bible. That's where they got the idea, where they thought that black people come from Ham, or in other words, they're Africans. They're Africans and they were meant to be slaves because they're Africans. Now, where they got this from is right out the Bible, and I'm about to pull it. All right, y'all meet me at Genesis 9 and 25. All right. It's a lot. I'm about to read real quick. All right. Genesis chapter. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 25. It's a lot. And he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren." Now, let me go up a little more. Give y'all context, right? I'll read verse 23. All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 23. And Shem and Japheth took a garment. Now I'm going to go at verse 22, select. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. Now Ham, he saw his father's nakedness, you understand, and he went and told his two brothers, right? So, and he's the father of Canaan. He's the father of Canaan, and he's going to speak. Canaan's going to be mentioned again in the 25th verse. Now, until we get there, I'm going to read. All right, verse 23. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. Now, these two, Shem and Japheth, they knew that it would be shameful for them to be looking at their father's nakedness. So what they did was they had a cloth, so like a garment. They went in the room backwards and covered their father's nakedness up without even looking. They didn't have to see their father's nakedness. You understand? So verse 24, and this is what Ham should have. This is where Ham's mindset should have been at. This is where his head should have been. But he didn't. He seen his father's nakedness. And, this is why what I'm about to read happens. And Noah, verse 24, and Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. Now, this is speaking about when, Ham, Noah, he took a drink. He went in his vineyard and, planted a vineyard. And, drank his wine and, he had a couple drinks. He came a little drunken. He sat in his nakedness. You understand? Ham seen it and, and he was indecent because of it. And Shem and Japheth seen it, went in the room backwards, didn't see their father's nakedness, covered him up. But Noah knew what Ham did. Noah knew what Ham did when he awoke from his wine. When he sobered up, he knew what Ham did. He remembered what Ham did. Now, this is what it says right here. Verse 25. And he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. Now, this is the prophecy for that. This is what will be for the Hamites. You know what I mean? It said Canaan, the son of Ham, the son of Ham. This is what will be for you know what I mean, the destiny for the Hamites. Now, the people in the book of, in this book, The Black Image and the White Mind, they believe that we descend from the people of Ham and Canaan. You know what I mean? This is what they thought. Now, that's where they get the whole thing of, you know what I mean, no, they descend from Ham. This is the biblical prophecy of Ham. They're the Hamites. They're the Africans. You understand? So they are supposed to be servants, because here it says they're supposed to be servant of servants. So according to this, the Most High wants them to be slaves. You know what I mean? The Africans to be slave, and these and the people that we got here, they're African. But let's go. This is what they said. And this I'm gonna go to page 75. Go to page 75, and this is what it says over here. All right. The racial significance of Egypt, tomb inscriptions, and crania Egyptiaka, published in 1844. Now, this is what was published and they found out in 1844, what I'm about to read right now. Morton pointed out that both. Now, Morton is Morton is he's some devil that, went and studied this whole thing. They went and found research. They was like, so this whole part right here, before I get into it, like I was saying, they thought we was Africans. They thought we were Hamites. And they was like, man, these people we got here, man, they supposed to be slaves. They supposed to be servants. They supposed to be like this. But you know what? Let's just go make sure. Let's just make sure that, they are the right ones we're talking about. Let's just make sure. Let's go find out. They went to Egypt. And found out some interesting facts. Understand? Let's I'm gonna read. And crania, meaning this, like, they studied the craniums of the Egyptians and all this stuff, because they went to Egypt and they studied the tombs, they studied the hieroglyphics, they studied the skulls of these Africans over there. These Africans over there, the Egyptians over there, they studied and they found these things out. So I'm gonna read. Morton pointed out that both cranial and, meaning the skull, the study of the skull, they went and studied the skulls of these Hamites over there. You know what I'm saying? And they studied the archaeological, the archaeology over there. You understand? Like I said, the hieroglyphics, the writings in the tombs, and all this stuff. And they found things out. And I'm gonna read. Morton pointed out that both cranial and archaeological evidence showed that the Egyptians were not Negroes. This is what they found. They found out that the Egyptians are not Negroes. We're not Africans, like I've been saying. I said this last week, saying it again. We're not Africans. We don't descend from no Africans, man. We are not Africans. Your schools have lied to you. You know what I mean? The schools have lied to you. The textbooks lied. You know what I mean? All them things are lies. You know what I'm saying? Because it says right here, you know what I mean? These are devils that went and found these things out and did the research and found out that we are not Africans. We're not Egyptians. These are devils that went and found these things out. I'm going to read on from where I was at. Well, I started again from that last part. Morton pointed out that both cranial and archaeological evidence showed that the Egyptians were not Negroes. Hey, man, you're not Africans. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're not Africans, man. You're not Africans. This is what they found out, though. As abolitionists and colonizationists. Now, these are the two that went and, you know what I mean, they kept the fact that, you know what I mean, they wanted to keep the fact that we were Hamites or the Africans, you understand? This is like, again, this is the debate between the two of them. They want to know, you know what I mean, should we keep the black man, the Negroes here under, should we like treat them in a polite manner? You know what I mean? One on one side, the abolitionists, they wondering if, you know what I mean, should we treat them politely? Should we let them into our societies? Should we do this? Should we do that? And the colonialists, they're the ones that's like, actually, we shouldn't let them do any of that. Actually, they're meant to be servants, and they're supposed to be serving servitude under us. They're supposed to be this way. They're not even real men. This is like the other ones. But on the both side, but both of them understand that they don't want they're looking at us like we're like some type of pets to them, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They're looking at us like they don't want us to be, you know what I mean? They both understand that they don't want their pets ruling over them. You know what I mean? This is what they both understand. The abolitionists and the colonialists, they both understand these things. But one is like, should we be nice to our pets? And the other one's like, should we? Or the other one is like, they're supposed to be servants to us, man. This is what they on. This is how they think. Now I'm reading. All right, I'm gonna start again from where I was at. Morton pointed out that both cranial and archaeological evidence showed that the Egyptians were not Negroes, as abolitionists and colonizationists had maintained. They maintained that notion that we were of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm read on, and that in fact blacks had been relegated. So this is what they found out. They found out we weren't the Negroes. I mean, so like we weren't the Egyptians, we weren't Africans, we weren't the Egyptians. This is what they found out. But they found this out though, and that in fact blacks had been relegated to the same servile work, so like to the same servile position in ancient Egypt as in modern America. That's what they said in this book right here. These devils in here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? The black, maybe I should wipe that off. Let me see. Make that more clear. Dang, it's a lie. But like, this is what they found out in this book. The black image in the white mind. That's what they said. These devils in here said this. That's what they said. I'll read it again. And that, in fact, blacks had been relegated to the same servile work, so like servile position in ancient Egypt as in modern America. These devils win, you know what I mean? This is proof. You don't think that the Bible is real. I mean, what's recorded in here in the Bible is what they did researched on. They researched all these things and found out that the Negroes here in America are not the Egyptians, but they are the ones that were in slavery. They were in the slave quarters in ancient Egypt. You know what I mean? That we see over here. They went over there. They actually went to Egypt and searched out all the hieroglyphics and all that stuff and the tombs and everything like that. And the skulls. They did cranial research on these things. You know what I mean? They searched the cranials, cranium of the Egyptians and of, you know what I mean, the Hebrews, and found out they weren't the same. They found out, these Negroes, the Negroes aren't the Egyptians. They're not the Africans. They the ones that was actually in servile position to them. The same servile position, in fact, as the one as in North America. That's what it said right here. I'll read that again. And that, in fact, blacks had been relegated to the same servile position in ancient Egypt as in modern America. America and Egypt are the same. America and Egypt, they the same coin, two different sides. Two different sides. You know what I'm saying? They sought to, that's what the whole Masons do now, the Masonry and all that stuff. They about having trying to rule the world again. They about ruling the world, and that's why they study ancient Egypt, because they were the most powerful society at that time. They were the most powerful world at that time. You understand? They were most powerful. And how did they get that power? How did they become so powerful like that? Nabar?
Slavery?
Damn right. Slavery. Who they have in slavery? That's what I want to get at.
Israelites?
The Israelites. They found out that, you know what I mean, how did the Egyptians, this is what the Masons do. This is what, like, how they came about. You know what I mean? They had studies on, man, listen. Okay, the Egyptians, they had a powerful kingdom, and it was the most powerful in the world at the time. How did they get so powerful? They had the Israelites in bondage.
Right.
So what we need to do with America, we need to get them in bondage. We need to enslave the Israelites, and you know what I mean, they have them build our new kingdom here in America. This blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is what they did. And who they got in bondage today. And who is the biggest, and what is the biggest empire on the face of the earth, the strongest empire on earth right now? America. And who they got in slavery? The Israelites, all 12 tribes of Israel they have enslaved, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
With the Native Americans in the you know what I mean, the reservations, starving, daughters being kidnapped, sex trafficking and all that stuff. The Israelite, you know what I mean, the Negro here in America, I mean, you know what I mean, just working tirelessly every day. You know what I mean, on the streets, homeless. Latinos, the brothers, the immigrants, the immigrants coming over from South and Central America, they in Chicago and all different states in America, thrown in the streets in the winter, in the cold of winter. We just went in New York and clothed the brothers and sisters out there with winter clothing. But they in Chicago going through the same thing. You understand? It's, you know what I mean, it's a travesty, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we locked up in prisons by the millions. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. This is what they doing to the Israelites here. So what they realize, like, to have a powerful empire, to have a powerful kingdom, you gotta have these Israelites in slavery first. You have to have them under control first. Right. And that is what they definitely got us under control. I mean, all it take to brainwash our sisters out here is put a stupid broad in front of them, shaking her tail all the time. You know what I'm saying? And saying all manner of vileness out of her mouth. You know what I'm saying? Put them as a rap star, having our daughters want to be like them. our sisters to be like them, thinking it's cool, thinking it's you understand, thinking it's tawab to be in that lifestyle that they doing, that they portraying. It's totally out the spirit. You know what I'm saying? But this way, I'll get to you about select. Yeah, and that's what it says right here. I mean, they found out, man. Listen, these Negroes that we have here, they're not Egyptian, but I'm gonna read, and that in fact, blacks had been relegated to the same servile position in America, also like in ancient Egypt as in modern America. The same servile position we had in ancient Egypt, we have here in America today. That would mean the Negroes, the Hispanics, the Puerto Ricans, all of them, you know what I mean, are the Israelites of the Bible. That's what that proves right there, that we are all the Israelites. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the Israelites of the Bible. That's more proof if you didn't believe what the prophecy said in the Bible. These devils know this too. These devils that research these things, they know that we're the real Israelites.
Right.
They know. And I ain't talking about the little dumb the average oppressor you see on the streets, or the peon oppressor that you see out here. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that did research and studied these things, and they been knew these facts from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. When the date on this says 1844 when this was published, about when they found out the Negroes weren't Egyptians, but they were the ones serving the same servile position in ancient Egypt, like in America. This is what they found out in 1844.
Right.
1844, they found out. They've been knew this for hundreds of years, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the real Israelites. Now, what would you do now? Are you going to just, you're the Israelites. You're the Israelites. Are you going to continue to live in a lifestyle that's outside of the characteristics of being an Israelite? You know what I'm saying? And it's not like you're an Israelite. I'm saying you're an Israelite because I want to grant you an Israelite. It's like, you're an Israelite by blood.
Right.
By blood. You can't get out of it. You know what I'm saying? You're an Israelite. By nationality, you're an Israelite. So you're going, that's why we under these curses. We under these curses. We got to, understand, going against, following our Father is the only way to get out of this hellhole, man.
Right.
It's the only way. And, they found out that we were the Israelites. Now, what's stopping you from understanding that you're an Israelite? What's stopping you from having any understanding on that you're the real Jews of the Bible? When our oppressors know these facts right here. They know the same damn thing. Now, I'm going to read right here in Zondervan Compact. Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, I'm going to read this part. Did I have anything else? I think that was it. Yeah, let me read. That's the one. All right. This is Ham out of the Bible. Out of Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. This is in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. You understand? Many oppressors researched these things and found out that blacks, are not Africans. Right. Blacks, Hispanics don't descend from Africans at all. You know what I mean? That we don't have no ties to them. In fact, we was warring against them. And, the more famous thing They had us in slavery.
Right.
They had us in slavery, and the Most High destroyed their whole empire so we can be free.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wiped them the hell out so we could be free. You know what I mean? This is, you know what I mean, what it was. This is what it is. Now, you know what I mean, like I said, Ham, you know what I mean, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, not the Negro here in America, not us, not the ones that's, you know what I mean, getting gunned down in the streets of America by all these, you know what I mean, oppressor cops out here.
Right.
Not the ones being, you know what I mean, the ones being thrown out of their apartments, evicted all the damn time. You understand? Not us. You know what I'm saying? Not the ones being racially profiled all the time, going in and out of grocery stores. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like not that. Not those brothers. You know what I mean? But it said this: not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. All of them are Africans. All those are African countries, African people.
Right.
Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, Canaanites. All those are Africans. You know what I mean? Like I said, don't let it go over your head. Ham was the progenitor of the dark races, meaning all the dark races. He was the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes.
Right.
The Negroes are a dark race too. We got darker complexion too.
Right.
Saying all the dark races except for the Negroes, except for us. We're a dark race, but we're an exception out of that. We're not the Hamites.
Right.
We're not the Hamites. This is what these devils found out. This is the devils found out in this one, in this book right here. They found that out in there, and another devil did research and found that out in here in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. They understand that we're not Africans, not Hamites. Now that's why they was going back at a certain period of time. Like, well, these Negroes here, they're the African. They're descendants from the Ham. That means they're supposed to be a servant of a servant, like it says in Exodus 1:25.
Right.
They're supposed to be servants of servants. They're meant to be slaves. The Most High wants them to be slaves. If that's the case, if they're the Hamites, they went and did research. They went to Egypt. They actually went to Egypt, studied all the, the hieroglyphics. They studied all these things, right. Did cranial research on the Egyptians and found out the Negroes, they're not even these Egyptians. They're not them Hamites. They're the ones that went and served in them slave quarters and
that's right.
And served out the same servile position in ancient Egypt, like they did in America, North America. Is what it says in there, man. Black people, my brothers, Black Hispanics and Native Americans, my brothers out there and sisters out there, you're not Africans. You know what I mean? Do yourself a favor. Separate your, try to get that in your head. Stain that in there. You are not Hamites and not Africans. You don't look anything like them. You don't smell anything like them. You don't cook nothing like them. You don't have the same appetite they do. You know what they like eating, right? You know what Hamites like to eat, right? Hamites like to eat all manner of evil, nastiness. That's what they like to do. They bathe themselves with cow urine, and they like. I seen a video where an oppressor tried to give a Hamite a piece of chocolate. The Hamite was looking at it like it was something, like it was a sin to look at, like it was something despicable in his hand. He don't like regular food. That's what Ham is like. Ham don't like regular food. He hates it. He likes the stinking stuff. He like the funky food. You know what I mean? That's what he like. So we're not the same as these Hamites out here, man. They hate you. They're another one of your oppressors here in America. But the main one, the one that we call oppressor, is the you understand, the people that come from out of the Caucasus Mountains, Georgia's Russia. Them right there, right? So, but they are one of the ones that oppressed us in the past. These Hamites. You understand? Go ahead, Nabal.
Yeah, like most African people know their native language. Native language. They speak their language. We don't speak our language. And the Bible said we were shook over language and all that stuff. That didn't happen to them. They know their language. They speak. They dialect. They know that. You know. We have the African names. They had African. We don't have our Hebrew names. The Bible said that. The Bible said that, you know, we shook over our names, language, and all that stuff. So they'd be different. We're not them.
Absolutely right. They got their whole culture. And niggas saying they Africans. Negro, like, you know what I mean? Which part of Africa you from? There's 150 different ethnic groups in Africa. Which one are you coming from? Which tribe do you come from? Come on, man. You know what I mean? You're talking about you African. Come on, don't make me laugh. Come on, man. That's a damn joke. And black leaders love to push that on the black people in America. Like, black leaders love to push that on us, saying we're African. Hell no. That's totally wrong to tell the black youth that they're African. You degrade them down to that. They are so much better than being African. You understand? Royalty, man. Now, go ahead, Nabal. Go ahead, last thing before we cut it.
I've never seen, like, I know you African people. I've never seen none of them or heard any of them say that their great-grandmother was picking cotton in slavery. You know, my great-grandmother did. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. You know, never heard them say that.
That's heavy. I wouldn't even be talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Them Hamites, they know that they didn't serve slavery. Like you just said. They know they didn't serve out no slavery. They know that they didn't pick no cotton. You know what I mean? That's, you know what I mean, where the kata come from, you know what I'm saying? That's where that come from, you know what I mean? They know that they not one of us. They know these things. They know their damn self. They got their effing, like you said, about. They got their speech. They got their little speech that they learned, that they just learned from them being African, being wherever they come from. The Africans don't even say African. They be like, I'm Libyan. I am come from Sierra Leone. I'm Nigerian. I'm wherever else, Somalia or whatever. You know what I mean?
Like, we don't call us Africans, though. They don't call us Africans. They say where they from.
That's what I was getting at. Like, you know what I mean? They call themselves by the actual country they come from in Africa. Us, we say we the whole continent. We be like, we African. We're Africa, Mother Africa. You know what I mean? The motherland. That's not our motherland. You understand? That is not our mother. Go ahead.
Like the Bible said Jerusalem is the mother of all.
Right. That's what I was getting at. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, Africa, and that's not the motherland. Jerusalem is. Israel is. That's where we from. That's our hometown. That's our home land right there. I can't wait to get it back. You know what I mean? Can't wait till the Lord gives us that land back. You know what I mean? We in the process of getting it right now. It's like the beginning stages of it right now. You know what I mean? We see what's going on over there. You know, all the chaos going on over there. It's a sign of the times, man. You know what I mean? We about to get free from under this oppression, you understand? Now, I pray that y'all got something out of this, you know what I mean? We're not the Africans, you know what I mean? I suggest y'all get this book. It's a lot of good content. It's a lot of great content coming out of this book right here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of great content in here, not just the content I read tonight, but it's a lot more in there, you know what I mean? And we going to, you know what I mean, end it off right there, just like that. Right? So without further ado, you know what I mean? I'm gonna salute everybody out. All right. Get that out of there. All right, y'all. So without further ado, let me see.
Still on?
Come. Yeah, I'm about to end it off. All right, so it's a lot. All right, y'all. Till next time, y'all meet me Tuesday night, Tuesday evening. For the Brotherhood class. All right, so starting at like around 5:30, around 5:45, somewhere around that time. Okay, so you know what I mean. This is Shalom. This is Priest and Officer 500 Mathumyad out of I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969. Teaching the truth about how the Israelites of the Bible are really the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, and that our oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. And all right, and we're gonna leave it off with that. Shalom. Salaki.
The Israelite school, the U.P.K. We out here in Baltimore, you know what I mean? We was having a clothing drive out here, feeding the people, clothing the people, understand, getting love from the brothers and sisters out here.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of mine actions. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a door. Payback is a door.
I'm in a hole with the growth. Just obstacle set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold. That is what everyone knows. Was known. America was never a home. They taking me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky. Nuclear missiles are making crackers surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Baltimore, Maryland, and abroad. Y'all pinning north, understand? Feeding the Lord's chosen people. This all you see right here. This is under commanding Johnny YAHANNA. Commanding Johnny YAHANNA feeds the people, clothes the people, as we do in many cities. You understand? We're gonna Shalom.
From Baltimore? Yes, sir. And how long you been out here in Baltimore? If you don't mind me asking, because I see you got some food. You born and raised in Baltimore? Yeah. That's not bad right 64 there. 64 years. 64 years. You've seen all the transitions of Baltimore, the buildings torn down. You know what I mean? Put them up, seen them turn them down, all that. Yeah. And I just wanted to ask, like, you being from Baltimore, you seen how destroyed we are as a people. You know what I mean? It's very good to see you. Rather we can give you some food, get you some clothes on and above. What would you say?
Seriously, you're looking for a Christ man, one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do his will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on Congo.
American Hunter don't like no soldiers. He's scared of the law. We don't like no soldiers.
Saint, black, Hispanic, native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ and they image, hate you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the saint. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folks forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the U.P.K, taught me the art of war. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like God. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. U.P.K the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under YAHANNA, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in motivation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One leg on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the nick change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game. Put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose.
Hoy estamos aquí. Lord Commander General Yahanna, I.S.U.P.K.
This is what Commander General Yahanna This is what he
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord?